So, well, I got this thing mostly together, but went to the DMV and they did not have their computers up to do the national search. So, got there too late in the day. So they were like, nope, can't do it because there's no VIN on record. Got to come back. So, at least I got it verified and got some of the stuff done, but it's definitely not going to make it to Blackstar this weekend, nor is it going to Octo. So, I'll show you guys the finished update. Had a couple things that conflicted with it, work issues that I had to do. That's the way it goes. So, got the inside all cleaned up. Let's take a look at that dash and see how nice it looks all together. Wasn't even finished really cleaning it. I was going to do some more to it tonight. The door shut really good. Shut nice and tight. You have to kind of push on them to get those seals to line up because it's so tight, but that's the way they always are. So we got the dash all looking good. Got my DMV paper there. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get the 13 window ready real quick to go to Orange County Transport Organization. So I'm going to wash that thing up and head on over there tomorrow. But yeah, it's done, but it's not done. Drove it, and man, I went to lube the front end on this thing, and every grease fitting, every one of them, not half of them, I mean, was like frozen. So I couldn't put grease in half. Well, all the ones for the trailing arms were good, so I did get those greased up, but all the rest of them were not. So I got to take every grease fitting out, clean up the front end, spray carb spray in there, and try and clean out the galleys inside so that the grease will go in. And they're all plugged. So was the horn cavity to put the wire in too. It was plugged with dirt. That's the way this whole bus has been. I must have sat outside for a long time. The rust was really bad around the tranny. Tranny's kind of noisy because it's got no interior in the back. The motor's running okay. The carb is, yeah, it would drive, but so one of the idle jets is plugged up, so or messed up in some way. Maybe the jet's wrong. So it's running a little rough at idle, but I did manage to get some fuel in it, filled it up, and it's running pretty good. I'll pick up the other one of these tomorrow. The hatch is working, but I haven't got the latches or anything for it, so it's just sitting there. Gravity's holding it down, so I'd probably stay on there like that, but because it's on there, we built these new hinges for that. The entire hinges were replaced. I just rebuilt new ones because Chris actually did, and we stacked some washers on there as a shim to bring it up high enough because it was so badly damaged and bent that the original ones probably wouldn't work anyway. I straightened it the most I could without. The only way to really straighten that thing all the way perfect was to take all the supports out, unweld them all basically, and make a new hatch. I mean, just weld them all together. So a couple other issues. The speedometer is misreading. We're not really sure why. So it's kind of odd. He thought maybe it was needle positioning. I don't know. Maybe I think he's got innards from one and not the other one. So maybe the spring tension on the speedometer that he took apart is different than the one that's on here. So I'm not really too sure. We're going to have to discuss that, figure out what happened there. So the inside looks pretty cool with the wood in here. And the hatch, that looks pretty neat. in the driver's seat. Looks really industrial. When it has all the rest of the interior in here, it'll look pretty neat. You can see where they were going by using this color in here. All this is neatened up, and then darn it, I got this all wet. I think I forgot to prime this part with rust reformer because it's the only place that's doing it. Rusting a couple spots, so not a big deal really. I'll just put some more paint on there, protect it a little bit more maybe. It's not really going to get much use outside or anything. So still got to clean up underneath. I mean, the underneath has already been detailed, but it's not clean right now. It's really dirty. So anyway, that's where I kind of got to on this thing. But this thing closes pretty good. And it's running good for around town right now. I really want to drive it around a bit, run some gas through it. That's usually the plan. I usually want to drive it a little bit, run some gas through it, through the carb, and then take the carb off and rebuild it because there's no sense in getting it ready. So I'm going to get this fella ready right here. So if you're over at Octo, you can look for this bus. It'll be there. Shouldn't have any problem with it making it out there. It's pretty reliable. It does 70 real nice. I usually drive between 65 and 70. I don't drive it much faster than that. Could, but I don't. Then I'll go ahead and get this one here. I'll get it down there. We'll check it out. Get it cleaned up right now. Washed up and ready to go. And get some of my old drinks out there. Maybe I'll have to throw that water bottle in there real quick. I'm not going to get the Sapphire radio in it. I do have it. I'm missing the stupid little screws around here, these things that hold the radio in place. So that's a drag. I'd like to have that in place. And you tuck in that piece back there. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do is drive this guy out there tomorrow. And I'm not sure what I'm going to drive to Blackstar. It would be really cool to show up in that old bus. It's so neat to drive. It's got the skinny tires on it. It just looks so old. This one here has got more wide tires, bigger tires. Gives you a little bit better gearing, so helps it out. All right, well, that's it for the update and events this weekend. Maybe I'll be lucky enough to have this at the Classic, which that would be kind of cool. Roll up in this thing. But boy, I sure would like to have the speedometer tell me what's right and wrong. I guess I could use it is kind of rough. I mean, one of the things that's kind of cool, it's kind of a little bit of a bumpy ride right now because the suspension's not very well greased. But I'll tell you what, I got a set of Bilsteins off this. Man, this 65 sunroof had some nice Bilstein shocks on it. I mean, these suckers were $100 a piece, 120 or something. They're really good Bilsteins, the old ones, and they were like brand new. I mean, I got the German rubber from the doors. I got I got some great parts from that car right there. Somebody really, they really took care of it. They really took it to the dealer a lot to get stuff done. So there was some nice goodies on there. So I put the Bilsteins on this, more appropriate. I think they'll get a lot better use on this car than on the other one. So anyway, that's it for the update here on the SO23 camper and Blackstar weekend. Not gonna make it to this thing. So yeah, it's a bummer. That'd be cool. I mean, it'll be nice because I kind of want to bring this thing out with all the interior in it. So I think it'd be really cool if it had all this stuff inside. I'm gonna bring it out. I got some other special things that I'm not gonna tell anybody about until I bring it out. Some hand painted stuff I'm gonna put on this thing. So, and I haven't had time to do that, obviously. And I won't probably till September or so. So maybe we're looking at, to get the camper interior done, I might have to do the Jerome run. I think that's in September. The Jerome show. I forget what that one's even called. Everybody goes to Jerome. And they give away a split window bus if you want to go. All right, so that's it for the camper. Let's talk later, and we'll be driving the 13 window.